If you're actively looking for a job, this is for you. One of the things that I would do if I were looking for a job is to be intimately familiar with the job description. Too often, we just get the job application, we just get the job link, and we go ahead and apply without really paying attention to the job application. So the first thing is to thoroughly review the job application to make sure that you understand what the job application is, what are the roles and responsibilities, but more importantly, what are the required skills that is needed for this job. Understand the jargons that are used to describe the job, understand the terms, understand the skills, understand the tools that are used. And so once you get a good grasp of that, then you can move on to step 2. Step 2 is to tailor your resume to the job description that you just thoroughly reviewed. Make sure that your resume speaks to the job description and speaks to the requirements. Make sure that you are picking skills and experiences that relate to the job in question. The resume is not a map of your life or a map of your journey. The resume is your first interview for that job, and it should be able to answer the questions that are asked on the job description. Even though the job description doesn't specifically ask questions, but if the job says ability to be able to analyze data, ability to be able to use X, Y, and Z tool, your resume should describe through your experience how you are able to do the things that a job description is asking. So key thing here is that your resume is your first interview. The manager on the other side is looking at your resume to see if it answers the question that they had in mind when they were putting out the job description. So think of your resume as your first job interview. Anything that you will tell somebody if you were in front of them, make sure that it's reflected somehow in your resume to the extent that it applies to the job that you are looking for. Step 3 is use resources around you to review your resume. So whether it's a trusted friend, colleague, mentor, resource, if you're in school, your college counseling office, or anything, any resources that are available to you that you can use to get opinion about your resume. And I'll shoot for about 3 people who can review your resume and provide feedback. Share the resume with them, share the job that you are trying to apply for, and let them see if there are any questions, anything that they will add. You can also, in today's world, use AI. I've heard of tools where you can be able to submit your resume, submit the job description, and the AI will give you recommendations or give you things that you need to change. And so those are resources that you can use to be able to review your resume. But step 3 is get feedback on your tailored resume for the job that you are applying for. Step 4 is using your acquaintance or your network or your connections to reach out to somebody in the desired company that you are applying for the job for. Whether it is going on LinkedIn and finding somebody who works there that is in your network that you can reach at, or a second connection that you can reach out to somebody to give you an introduction. Step 4 is getting a person who works at that company to be able to review your resume. Sending them a short message that says, "Hi, I'm applying for X, Y, and Z job. Here's the resume that I'm trying to use for. Could you or somebody that you know at the company be able to review my resume and give me some feedback?" That is a simple ask that any professional will be mostly open to doing. I understand that this step is really out of your hand, but the goal is that you still need to apply it. If you give it some time and people don't get back to you, you can go ahead and apply for the job. But the reason why this is really important is because of step 5. Step 5 is to ask this individual, if they agree to review your resume and they've reviewed your resume and provide feedback, is to ask this individual to give you a referral. Most cases, companies have some sort of a referral system where somebody can go submit a referral for a candidate. And the reason why most people will be willing to do this is one of 2 reasons. They've already invested time to review your resume and to be able to provide feedback. So now they are invested in you. They are invested in your success. The second reason is, in a lot of cases, companies do have some sort of a compensation benefit for referrals. And so that is a great motivation for somebody to want to refer you in the system. And referrals, as you all know, can go a long way, right? Because it has the ability to bubble your resume on top of all the applications and potentially be seen and be able to move on to the next steps of the job process. And so step 5 is really important. You can only do step 5 if you've done step 4. But if you have been able to successfully do step 4, where you've gotten somebody at a company to look at your resume and give you feedback, ask them if they can refer you for that job. Step 6 is apply. As I said, step 4 and 5 are typically out of your hands. And so if you're not successful, do not wait along waiting for somebody to be able to come back to you. Just go ahead and apply for the job. If you've given a reasonable amount of time to see if you can find somebody at a company who can help you, or to be able to have somebody who can refer you to it. But I've seen that this approach allows you to be able to set yourself apart and be able to improve your chances of moving on to the next stage in a job search process. So happy searching, all the best, good luck. Let me know if you're able to put this into practice and how it goes.